Hello, my darling loves. I hope everyone's doing well today. I had an amazing morning, and I hope you are having an amazing morning as well. Let's see. It's a beautiful sunny day. Is it sunny? It's a little chilly. Who gives a fuck? Let's focus on the good stuff. I like this quote that's going around that says, "No love is ever wasted." And I think I am glad that I heard that because, I have a lifetime of being very upset that I did so much love and effort for the wrong people. But sometimes you have to remind yourself maybe they really needed it. Maybe they really, really needed it for the time being. For example, that recent abusive relationship I got out of this summer, that man was a terrible fucking man, but I'm sure he still needed it. Like, I don't know. To this day, I wonder if he ever did lie about certain things to me, but I know, well, I don't know, he had a tendency to lie. It was very bad. Men will see a woman they don't have to lie to and then be like, I'm gonna do that shit anyway. What the fuck? Not all men, obviously, but enough where I have to say things like that. Very frustrating. But I will say this, I'd like to think that I still did a positive effect on his life. You know? And even if it wasn't for him, it was for me. Because I remember I thought to myself, he's probably going to go all big and all out for Valentine's Day because he knows what I like. And he wants to impress me. And he knows he's going to have to upkeep a certain standard if he wants to keep me around in his life. And I remember I was broke as shit, but I still found a way to get him any fucking. I was like, I need to show this man how loved he is by me. And this was before we even told each other we loved each other yet. I just was like, I need to show him though. And I remember it's like I got him that big ass like succulent arrangement, like, and also another size. He mentioned he likes pineapples. I saw a pineapple shaped succulent. I got it for him. I got him a whole bunch of like beautiful like geode crystal gemstones and a whole bunch of coconut and vanilla and strawberry scented incense and a handwritten card that was like poetry and some like homemade like strawberry fucking orange mandarin cutie infused like whiskey bourbon that I made myself. And I think I did a few more things, but I just thought to myself, I know what he likes, and this is how I show love to people. And it was worth it to show it, because even though, let's just say, I hate that he had to be such a terrible person. I really do. He could have avoided doing to me what he did the following weekend of Valentine's Day. He could have avoided all the bad shit he did to me as we dated. A lot of what we did was entirely, or what he did to me was entirely avoidable. But I can't take that back, nor can I take back the love I gave him, but I don't regret it. Like, a part of me for a while, I thought to myself, I regret doing that for him because if I knew he was just going to be such a predator, I would have saved my time and efforts. But it's like, no, because deep in my soul, I knew to myself, like, how this, there's some alternate reality where imagine if I didn't go all out for him. It would have been a weak ass Valentine's Day for many reasons. Not just because that nigga blew up the fucking hotel, motel, Holiday Inn with his stinky ass farts, because why would he not take oh my god, when I tell you, if it's Valentine's Day and you gotta take a mean shit after you take me out to a fine dining restaurant, shit at the restaurant. Don't go to the fucking tiny ass, oh, idiot. And then, oh, and it stunk. God, it was terrible. Luckily, thank God, I always like to overpack. As a woman, always keep something like this in your purse. Perfume or scent bomb. Scent bomb is the best because no matter what happens, period spills, bladder leaks, simply you're in a funky ass bathroom, you just one spritz of this, the whole smell is gone. And if it's really severe, like it was on Valentine's Day, 2 spritz, and you'll save yourself from just asking, like, oh my god, that was the only thing that saved me from making that nigga take me home. I swear to God, it was terrible. Also, he was the type of idiot where he heard me say repeatedly how I hate chocolate strawberries. Unless it's specifically the hot fondue type, I really fucking hate chocolate strawberries. You know what he got me? Chocolate strawberries. But he also got me a cool ass teddy bear, so. And you know what? I don't regret giving my love and showing it. Because I guess I just was excited to have someone to give love to and show love for. And sometimes that's what it means to me. Like, I think that's also a reason I sometimes didn't give a fuck about if like certain friendships were reciprocal, because I was just happy to have someone to care about after a long time of not caring about people. Like, I remember when I first met my ex-boyfriend Liam, I was going through such a bad time mentally, like really bad time. You can tell it's a bad time because I'm instantly gonna cry if I think about it too long. Let's just say I said out loud, Lord, universe, higher power, whoever's out there, I don't need someone who's the most intelligent person in the world. They don't need to be the richest. They don't need to be this, or that. They just need to be someone sweet and thoughtful and kind. That's all I ask, and that they're honest with me and they treat me good. And that's what I would want. And oh my god, let's just say Liam's still in my life to this day, and it's been 3 years, and I am happy to know that man. Even though I'm debating on if I should cut him off or not, but, well, then again, that's for personal reasons. But simply put, I was just grateful that I had someone that made mornings, like, even more exciting to look up to. Sometimes that's a blessing in itself. You know, I was thinking about how my housemate's a fucking asshole hypocrite about how when my housemate was going through a hard time, they alluded to me that at some point they felt suicidal and communicated that with a partner, and the partner left them over that, and how the relationship wasn't the best and how it had a toll on their mental health. And I remember I sat there in that kitchen listening to them talk for fucking hours because I cared. I didn't need to care. I could have just went, this is my fucking shitty housemate, the type of person to leave like a literally half a cup of ramen, like noodles and juices and all, spilled in the microwave for me to clean up. And then would complain like, oh, why do we have roaches? My brother in Christ, you're the reason. Or like the type of asshole where you had to like get on their ass to use incense. Or like, just, But you know what? I still showed care. I still showed love because I thought to myself, most people on this planet are worthy of care and love. And I feel like they need to be shown it at some point. And let's just say I have been shown a million times just how selfish and narcissistic and pathetic this person can really be. But it's okay. It doesn't mean I regret the love I show, because simply put, I'm not like these bitches. I care about people, I love people, and I think they deserve the best fucking treatment ever. I don't look at a person and think, how can I fuck them over? How can I use them? How can I fool them? How can I do this or that? I think, oh, here's a person. They seem cool. I'd like to learn more about them and the lore about how they are, how they are. I'd like to hear them out. Oh, they're talking about a hard time? Let me think of ways I can, like, make them feel better, or at least let them vent. Like, I don't have to problem solve every issue of theirs, but let them talk it out and, like, figure out their emotions with me a little bit. Maybe it'll help, or maybe they'll feel close to me. We can see what happens, because I know that, I want to be the change in the world that I think I deserve, or I know I deserve. I know I deserve love, and I know that the best way to do that and access it is to put it out there. And I've talked about this in another video about the niceness and like goodness morality complex, like how not every person who's nice is good, and not all people who do good things are nice, and also all that. But simply put, I'll put it to you like this. Like, I have mixed opinions on my morality. I think I'm a good person. I think I'm a nice person. But then again, that's only because enough time has passed where I've decided to stop beating myself up over any bad shit I've done. Also, I don't truly care that much. Or do I? To an extent. I don't know. Like, for example, things with my crush ended how many weeks ago? Like, and I'm still thinking about them and hoping that they're okay, and wondering how they're doing, and hoping that the consequences of the toxic thing I did don't affect them that badly, but also kind of wishing it did, because I would hate for it to just, like, not affect them whatsoever. I don't know. But I can tell I'm not, like, that bad of a person, all things considered. And I don't know, certain parts of me are healing. For example, I think I saw an ex of mine last night. It looks like them. Stupid fucking straight teeth, stupid fucking hair and hairline, stupid everything. Let's just say, instead of letting it beat me up like before and eat away inside of me and wanting to do bad things, I let it go. I figured, hey, I'd rather think about the cute guy I'm gonna see at this comedy show tonight, and like what I'll do when I get home, and about much better things. But let's just say I'm still mentally unstable enough where I can't talk about that any further. I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, I can tell that I am still someone who tries. It's always good to try. I don't think anyone should truly give up on trying to upkeep the moral good of this planet. We should not give up on trying to extend character, trying to love. Like, I remember when I was young, I used to think it was embarrassing for people to approach me when I was a kid and like nonstop repeatedly harass me and ask why I was crying. But that's because I thought I was told it was shameful to cry and that everything I cried about was stupid and blah blah blah. But now that I'm older, I see it as a blessing that there were people who were sweet enough to be like, oh, a random woman who I don't know, or a random girl who I don't know is crying. I should try to say she's pretty, or I should try to be really nice to her and like see how I can cheer her up. And that's a blessing, and it's beautiful, and I'm grateful that people like that exist. Amen. I just wanted to also express that it's like, I don't know, like I said in another video, I didn't think anything of helping this one chick out with finding a BART station within like a 5 minute walking distance to me, but she wouldn't stop saying, "That's so nice of you. Why would you do this? What? No one else I know would ever do something like that." And I thought, oh wow, it's that rare? Well, I don't know. It just seemed like the sensical thing to do, and why not? Because, you seem like a good person. Why not? And she thanked me profusely and said she won't forget it. I remember her from middle school. I remember she was not the sweetest girl. Her name was Vivian Leigh. It's amazing that I still remember her name despite us barely interacting, but I have a really good memory, what can I say? But it was nice to know that it's like, I remember she treated me with such disdain in the brief interactions we had in middle school, but it's good to know that she grew as a person almost like a decade or more later, and now it's like, hey, I had the opportunity where I could have been like, fuck you, bitch. Get lost, freak. But instead, I was like, nah, here, let me help you find it. And in fact, I'll walk you there. And she liked it, and I got to see her glow and smile and beam, and that made me happy. And you know what? Even though my housemate is a total disgusting fucking cunt, and I no longer care about whatever happens to them, it still makes me happy. And maybe like that, after a year or so of trying hard to make this house that or a shit hole into a shit home, that I actually did successfully kind of like get them to see me as some sort of ally or friend or person to talk to. It stopped being them slinking around the house hoping that like they can't hear me, and started being them like in the kitchen, like whenever they'd hear me enter the kitchen, they'd enter the kitchen as well. I don't know, it was kind of cute. Like kind of like how cats are when you socialize them and they try to sit on your lap without looking at you to pretend that like they don't want to be there, but you know that they secretly do. Kind of like that basically. Except with a grown adult in their like 40s, 50s. Very amusing. And even though that connection is long lost, it's like, okay, I don't regret giving the love because it still showed that I still am able to care for other people and that I am still a safe haven for other people and whatnot. And I don't know. I'll put it to you like this. Sometimes the best thing you can do for certain people is just fucking dip on them. And never, like with sending access. I always knew that when I was younger. I knew that from a very young age. Me crashing out just simply was me being tired of being the bigger person in a world full of very, very, very small, very angry people and being punished by small people on some like Gilligan's Travels type shit. I mean, Gulliver's Travels, where the big nigga gets tied down by a bunch of scared ass fucking tiny motherfuckers. Exactly. I was tired of small people keeping me down, so I had to act a fool sometimes. But even from a young age, I knew the best thing you can do is silence. The best thing you can do is retract from their life and give them no more energy. Like, I knew that from a young age. I remember I would have these online chat room relationships when I was young, and then the dudes would just suddenly say some like heartbreaking shit like, hey, I decided I'm gonna leave you for this chick who has a cooler anime profile picture than you do. She seems cuter, bye. And then I'd be like, okay, whew, thanks. I'm so happy. I'm glad you said that. Huh, thank God. Bye. And then he was like, what? You're relieved? Why? And then I would simply ghost them. And then they'd see me in other chat rooms. They'd be like, hey, how are you doing? And then I would just entirely ignore them and pretend not to see any of their like 8 messages being like, hey, why are you ignoring me? Hey, 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 hey. And I knew that would help linger in their mind more. And I guess like that's why I was so proud of myself when I did leave that abusive recent relationship I had this summer, because that was me going, oh, like, cause I could have, trust me, I could have killed that nigga. I'm not kidding. I knew the fucking front passcode to his building. I roughly knew what time he gets off of work. I knew most of his stuff. Like, it wouldn't have been hard. Like, the ties would have been traced back to me, though, and he has a daughter. But then again, yeah. Well, mostly the fact that he has a daughter. Is he the best parent for the daughter? No. Frankly, I think she'd be better living with her fucking grandparents, if you ask me. Like, Jesus. I wonder if I should still call CPS on. I don't know. Maybe I should. I don't know. He wasn't abusive, but he just was pathetic. At least to her. But I kind of knew to myself, like, I could have called. I just was so done with him. I remember when he threw that final tantrum, that was just like the nail in the coffin. So much. And then it was just so satisfying that I was like, I'm not going to message him back. I'm not going to talk to them. There's no joy. He sucked all of it out of me. I tried this whole time to love him and to show I cared. And I could have stopped at any point, but I kept trying because I thought, no, there has to be a semblance of the man I loved in there. But there wasn't. It was just some alcoholic, shroom taking, fucking chump loser. And that's not what I stand for. And we tried to be civil, but then next thing you know, he tried to be a disgusting fucking pervert. I politely said that was not something I was comfortable with, and he lashed out and showed me that, yep, this is who he is. An angry, pathetic, manipulative, punk-ass loser bitch. I could have crashed out in a million different ways. I could have taken a bus or an Uber to his area and threw like one of those many, many, many decorative rocks outside of his apartment through any of his fucking windows. I could have spray painted his front door and done horrific, nasty, vile things to it. I could have set his apartment on fucking fire and pulled a left eye. I didn't, though. I just decided I'm done with this, and the door is shut. And he tried to re enter my life just to realize none of his messages were being left on read. He was being left undelivered. And then he was checking my story from his main page, and then when he was blocking me and unblocking me over and over, he would check me from one of his other private pages, and lo and behold, it would just be me in Lake Tahoe with the guy who treats me well, or me in San Francisco with the guy who treats me well, or like me in my apartment getting dick from a dude with a curved penis. And he hated it, but it's like sometimes the best revenge is leaving. And so, that's what I really wish for most people. Funny enough, I also thought about like this holiday season. Like, I remember I got some really nice bracelets for my family for like 2 Christmases in a row. I got my mom this really nice, expensive, like gemstone bracelet. I remember I was trying to save up all my money so I could leave that fucking place ASAP. But I thought to myself, she's been solid enough this year. Let me get her a nice gift. It had my name and my siblings' names engraved in it. It was made of high quality material. She was so ungrateful. But it's okay, because I hope the memories of her abusing me and causing me pain and laughing at me, that's what she's left with. And if she's ever sad about not having a bond with me, I want her to think about all the times I made cake for the family and they didn't take a single fucking slice, despite all my hard fucking work. I want to think about the home cooked meals that I made that they didn't partake in, the one pot pasta pans that I had to indulge in entirely by myself, if not sharing some with my younger brother. I want them to think about the gestures I did make as I was there that they shot down. And if my presence was so unlikable, then congratulations, my gift to them those years ago was the right to never see me again and to never ever remotely ever claim me. And I know that certain exes haven't been with me for years, but simply put, the fact that I left their messages on read would make them go insane, almost as much as I did when they were the ones abusing me. And I know that it does sting my housemate a little bit to know that I will never smile or joke or giggle with them the same way again. I'll put it this way. I hope that the way it feels to have a lack of love or care for me stings them, like how it would feel to have an open wound put under hot water. Like you forget about it for a bit, but the next thing you know, it grazes a certain fabric, or touches a door handle, or it's put under hot water, or you're taking a shower, or you're doing anything, and it just stings you like, oh, she's not here anymore. It no longer exists. Several people have come back into my life because they realized how much they needed me, wanted me, or adored me, and how fucking vital it was. I hope my name stings in my mother's mouth like that rotting tooth in the back of her molars stings for her. I hope it keeps her up in the middle of the night the same fucking way that the trauma she caused me did. And it still wouldn't hurt nearly as much, bitch. But it's okay, because I'll put it this way. Me sharing love to people that didn't deserve it was still me practicing and knowing how to give love properly to those who did. So I will bake for those who truly love me. And even if they prove my love is fake, it's okay. Or that it was misdelivered. It'll always be put on the right track eventually.